Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about doing partial rifle transitions. Okay, and the partial rifle transition is where I'm here. I just bring the stock to this side, and I'm firing the gun from here. Okay, so it's a really quick, fast transition. Okay, as opposed to doing the full transition. Okay, that's the full transition where I'm actually moving my hands. Okay, the full transition is very useful if we expect to be shooting, let's say on the on our offside for a very long period of time. For if you're going to be moving between trees, the quick transition, the partial transition, is probably going to be more useful to us because we don't expect to stay behind any one tree for a very long period of time. And the reason for that is that most trees are not that wide. So they're not going to offer you great cover for very long. If your opponent, shifts a couple of feet to the left or to the right of you, from their position, they're going to get a different angle. And whereas before you might have been covered, now you're not covered. Okay, so if it's a really small target, a very small piece of cover that we don't want to stay behind for too long, and the partial transition is going to allow us to very quickly shoot on one side and then quickly come to the other side and shoot to the other side. Okay. All right. And as you can see, that this is a lot better than doing that. All right. You can see how you can see a lot more of me there. Okay. Also, because if I'm in this position, my barrel is actually in the tree. So if I were to actually fire my round from there, there's a good chance I'm going to hit the tree because the gun is canted so much. So by doing the partial transition, now the gun is actually vertical. So I have a better chance of not hitting this tree. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why the partial transition is very valuable. One of the things that you want to be aware of, if you have your AR, mounted with the sling on the stock, you want this QD mount on the port side, on the ejection port side. Okay, you don't want it on the inside because what's going to happen is when you do that transition, right, this is going to come across your throat, and it's probably not going to let you get to the position you want to get to. Okay, so you want that mount on the port side. Okay, another thing to be aware of is when a lot of people like to hold their rifle way out here because they can drive faster from side to side, up and down. Okay, when you transition to this side, your arm is not long enough for you to hold the gun further out there, so you're going to end up holding the gun further back by the mag well. Okay, so expect that. Okay, that's just how that is. Another thing to be aware of is when you're on that side, right? When you're on your off side, you're not going to be able to reach the safety. Okay, so when you come to this side, you can't reach that safety. So basically, you gotta keep your safety off for the purpose of this drill. Now, you wouldn't be doing this unless you're engaged and the threat is basically ahead of you. Okay, this is not a situation where you're turning around, because if I'm here, all right, take the gun off safe, right? Fire your shot, put it back on safe so I can turn around and go to a different direction. Okay, in that case, there's a risk I might point the gun at somebody I don't want to point it at. Here, we're keeping the gun in the same direction, so there's no need for us to put that safety on. Mainly because it's impossible to do so. Okay, you really can't reach it. So that's just one of the things that you guys want to be aware, should be aware of. Another thing is if you have a light mounted on the gun, usually I like having the light further back because at night I find that I do a lot more searching than actual shooting with the light. If you're going to be doing now for the partial transitions, it doesn't make a difference because the light, well, actually it does make a difference because you can't reach that light if you need to reach it all the way up there. So that's just something to be aware of. One of the reasons why I like keeping the light up there if I'm going to be doing transitions is if I do a full transition, I can always reach the light with this thumb over here. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I'm keeping the light up there right now. But also be aware that if you do a partial transition, you can no longer reach that light. Okay, so again, there's a cost and a benefit to everything that we do. One of the options is obviously to bring the light further back. or you can put you know, the pressure pads on the top of the rifle here. So these are things for you guys to consider. All right, so let's go through a few drills with this. Now, normally, like I said, you don't want to be close to your cover. Okay, this tree could be 20 feet ahead of me, and as long as it's between me and the threat, it'll still work. For the purpose of keeping everything within the view of the camera, you know, I'm going to stay relatively close to the tree. All right, so come up, gun off safe, to the other side. Safety on. Don't forget to put your safety on when you're done with this drill. Okay, so I think it's a great exercise for you guys to practice. Try it out and let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear from you guys. Talk to you guys next time.